Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see the skill of stress management. I am Nitish Kumar, student of Integrated BSc B.Ed Mathematics from Department of Education, Central University of Tamil Nadu. Now before we begin, we should know what is stress. Stress is a non-specific response of the body to any kind of demand made upon it, said by Sally in 1956. Now what is stressor? Stressor is any person or situation that produces anxiety response to the body. A stressor is a chemical or biological agent, environmental condition, external stimulus, or an event that causes stress to an individual. Now there are different kinds of stressors. Basically, there are two kinds of stressors: external stressors and internal stressors. External stressors include physical environment, social interaction with people, life events which you have no control over, for example, somebody's death in the family. Internal stressors include personal lifestyle choice, personality traits, individual thought process, it can be negative, overanalyzing, etc. Now, types of stress. Stress is the wear and tear our body experiences as we adjust to our continually changing environment. It has physical and emotional effects on us and can create positive and negative feelings. There are actually two types of stress: eustress and distress. Now what is eustress? Eustress is the positive stress that stimulates a person to function better. This is called as friendly stress or positive stress. It has a good influence on human in terms of physical and mental ability. It acts in a positive way for the individual and the organization. It also provides the sense of urgency and alertness needed to survive when confronting threatening situations. Now what is distress? Distress is a negative stress that may cause illness. This is also called as harmful stress. Negative stress could be also described as a burning out. It is a contributory factor in minor conditions such as headaches, insomnia, which is sleeping disorder, ulcers, etc. Classifications of stress. Stress can be classified as short-term stress, which is also called as acute stress, and long-term stress, which is also called as chronic stress. Now, what are short-term stress? Acute stress is the reaction to an immediate threat, commonly known as fight or flight response. The threat can be any situation that is experienced, even subconsciously or falsely, as a danger. Common acute stress includes noise, crowding, isolation, hunger, danger, infection, etc. Now, what is long-term stress? In day-to-day life, persons face different stressful situations which are not short-lived. The stress becomes chronic when an individual tries to suppress it. Common chronic stressors include ongoing highly pressured work, long-term relationship problems, loneliness, and so on. Effects of stress. The effects of stress generally fall in categories: short-term effects of stress and long-term effects of stress. Short-term effects of stress include physical changes. Physical symptoms are usually triggered by arousal of autonomic nervous system and include increase in heart rate and blood pressure. Then psychological changes, which include lack of concentration, muscle ache, headache, insomnia, loss of memory, inability to make decisions, forgetfulness, confusion, and faster breathing. Then emotional changes may include emotional response, anxiety, nervousness, frustration, anger, irritability. Behavioral symptoms. Impact of stress also affects the behavior and present as pacing, fidgety movement, nail biting, smoking, drinking, and throwing things are the behavioral symptoms of short-term stress. Now, long-term effects of stress. Behavioral changes. The affected person becomes a victim of serious behavioral disorder, fearfulness, obesity, alcoholism, drug addiction, and so on. Physiological changes. The affected person becomes victim of serious physiological disorders like hypertension, heart diseases, skin diseases, and even cancer. Emotional changes. Chronic anxiety, depression. The affected person becomes a victim of serious emotional disorder like fear and phobia, personality changes, mental disorder, and so on. Cognitive changes. The affected person becomes victim of serious cognitive disorder like memory problem, obsessive thoughts, and sleep disorder. Now, stress management. Stress management involves the use of the coping strategies in response to stressful situations. Coping strategies are adaptive when they protect the individual from harm or strengthen the individual's ability to meet challenging situations. Strategy of coping with stress. A. Awareness. The initial step in managing stress is awareness, to become aware of the factors that create stress and the feeling associated with the stressful response. As one becomes aware of stressors, he or she can omit, avoid, or accept them. B. Got organized. Coping with stress is all about planning. You can plan to fall or plan to succeed. Organize time for work, family, hobbies, spiritual time, time with friends, and time alone, time for exercise and time for relaxation. Visualize the best outcome. Coping with stress known how to deal with a stressful situation before it occurs. Rehearse how you are going to handle it. Picture yourself being successful in coping with stress. D. Don't postpone action. One of the best strategies for coping with stress is not to put off actions until tomorrow, if you can do it today. Coping with stress becomes more difficult when you defer. Do your least favorite course first, followed by rewards. E. Be realistic. Set realistic goals. Emphasize quality over quantity. Work at a leisurely pace, taking breaks often. F. Sleep, eat, and exercise. Coping with stress is all about treating your body properly. Eat food that nourish you, exercise, and get plenty of sleep. Relaxation techniques. Be specific when exploring your options. You might consider the following: going to walk, making with friends, reading for pleasure, listening to music, taking a bath. Begin practicing relaxation techniques like meditation, deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation. Deep breathing exercises. Sit or lie down comfortably. Inhale slowly through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. While inhaling, place one hand below the ribs. Allow that hand to extend outwards when inhaled. Let the hand fall back to its original position when exhaled. Exhalation should take twice as long as inhalation. Progressive muscle relaxation. Muscles relaxation can be done in sitting or lying down position. Each muscles group is tensed for 5 to 7 seconds and then relaxed for 20 to 30 seconds, during which time the individual concentrates on the difference in sensations between the two conditions. Soft, slow background music may facilitate relaxation. Unhealthy ways of coping with stress: smoking, drinking too much, overeating or undereating, using pills or drugs to relax, sleeping too much, withdrawing from friends, family, and activities, zoning out for hours in front of the TV or computer, taking your stress on others like lashing out, angry outbursts, physical violence. So this was all about stress and the ways to manage stress. I hope you got something from this video. Thank you.